folks, and welcome back to another Nautical Tales episode. And in this week's episode, it's pretty much going to feature lots of ships blowing up, courtesy of a little bit of help from RNGesus. So let's get started. First replay up is from Alexei Menser, who is in a Tier 4 German cruiser, the Karlsruhe. Arguably one of the worst ships in the game because, well, even if you fire AP, the arc of the shells makes it nearly impossible to citadel other cruisers, even those lightly armored cruisers like the Phoenix. So might as well fire high explosive and hope RNGesus comes to your rescue, and in this case, Detonation. Alexei gets a detonation on the enemy Phoenix, and he's so shocked by it in chat, he's just like, whoa, did I just kill something with my Karlsruhe? Really? Yes, you did, Alexei. RNGesus saves the day. Next up is a replay from Yuika, who's in a Cleveland. Now, the Cleveland, unlike the Karlsruhe, is actually a pretty good cruiser, especially up close, and its armor piercing is definitely effective against cruisers that decide to show you a broadside. Yuika fires one, hits the rear magazine's detonation numero uno. So Yuika's probably feeling pretty good at this moment, like, hey, look, I just wiped out a cruiser. Let's try another cruiser. And there happens to be another German cruiser, the Nuremberg over there, who also happens to be giving a broadside. So Yuika takes shot number one. While that shot is sailing towards the target, Yuika turns his attention to the enemy destroyer, which is actually what a cruiser is supposed to do. Prioritize the destroyers first, then deal with enemy cruisers, and then finally deal with battleships. Although, you know, there's so many cruisers out there these days who just spend all their time firing at a battleship when there's a destroyer like right in front of them and they don't even see it. Anyways, Yuika takes a couple of other shots, this time at a Cleveland, before returning attention back onto that Nuremberg. And if you thought the Königsberg shot was real lucky, take a look at this one. Lands a total of 2 hits, detonation. Doesn't even get a Citadel ribbon, just RNGesus is totally in love with you, Yui. Anyways, moving on. So Chokai Suki is in a Tirpitz, and the Tirpitz, while pretty good up close, is not always that great at longer ranges. Its shots have a tendency of being a little bit kind of spread out. The dispersion's not really that good. But if you, I guess, run up against an enemy battleship that's giving you kind of a nice big side shot, you can still do some pretty decent damage. Chokai's first shot lands, doesn't really do anything. 4 hits, but all bounce off the armor. The Iowa, on the receiving end of battleship shots, doesn't even react. I guess it's because he didn't take any damage, so there's no point of reacting. So Chokai takes another shot, and this time a little bit closer. Shot looks decent. The Iowa is kind of sailing in exactly the same way as before. Takes another hit. No damage. So, I guess at this point, this Iowa is just feeling pretty confident. Like, okay, so there's a battleship shooting at me, but my armor seems to be working. And Chokai's like, wow, this Iowa really isn't doing all that much in terms of trying to protect itself, turn into me, angle into me. Might as well take another shot and see what happens. Well, this one does 2 citadels and detonation. Yep. Oh boy, that poor Iowa. Next up is a replay from Chybi. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And Chybi's in New York. And the New York is pretty bad dispersion-wise and depends quite a bit on RNG. First salvo out, look at that nice tight dispersion from that New York. Bam! Double Citadel, kill number 1 on that Murmansk. Not bad, right? Pretty good, because the New York usually has a tendency of just shotgunning stuff. So seeing a nice tight shot like that is good. And Chybi is like, whoa, 2 citadels, that's great. It's in New York, doesn't really happen all that often. So Chybi feeling pretty good about the first shot. Takes a look and sees that there's 2 more enemy ships, an Omaha and another New York, and says, yeah, you know what, let me try my luck again and let's see what happens. Takes a shot against the enemy New York. Look at that tight dispersion again. RNGesus loves you, Chybi. 4 citadels, instantaneously nuking that New York. That's 6 citadels on 2 salvos. Absolutely fantastic. Well, you know, then let's talk about me. I get the shots. I get fantastic shots. I get shots like this. And then, just for some amazingly great reason, RNGesus just doesn't love me. I swear. I swear to God, RNGesus doesn't love me, because I'll do all the damage, and then RNGesus just laugh and be like, yeah, but I won't give you that kill. So I see this enemy, Fuso over here, 20 kilometers away, actually almost thinking 21 kilometers away from me, fire an entire salvo out of my Fuso, track my shot, and it's a pretty dispersed out shot, and I guess RNGesus did help here in making the shot land. I get 4 citadels and another hit. I drop over 40,000 damage onto that Fuso, and I leave him with 770 HP. I don't get a kill. I just don't get a kill. But then again, my luck is at least better than this next person. And this is a replay from George Bevan, who is in a ranked battle in a Hatsuharu. And the enemy Hatsuharu pops out. My luck is at least better than this enemy Hatsuharu, because at least I did a crap ton of damage, and very quickly after that, at least, you know, my team was able to help me kill the ship. But I feel bad for this enemy destroyer. Just like, there is, oh, I just feel so bad for him. Anyways, so this enemy Hatsuharu manages to get the drop on George, gets his torpedoes out, even hits him in the stern, drops George down to 180 HP. George also runs into an island. Oh, takes another additional 93 HP there, leaving him with 87 HP. And then watch this. This is so bad, because in World of Warships, there's this thing where if you take enough damage in one area, you won't take any more damage, right? But jeez, the torpedo hit didn't do full damage and kill him. The first shot only did 93 damage and then negated all damage in the midsection. So this enemy destroyer, after hitting him with torpedoes, went to guns. Multiple salvos with guns later, still could not kill George. And then George is able to kill him back with guns. Yeah, okay. At least my luck is better than this. And then, of course, the biggest facepalm moment of the last 2 weeks is in this replay. HB ZK100 is in a Ranger. And enemy destroyer pops up. In fact, there's 2 enemy destroyers, but the closer one was the Nicholas that popped up at under 3 kilometers, 2 point something. You'd figure that at this kind of range, the carrier is just going to die, right? Well, no. This is why I said this is gonna make you guys all just put your faces into your hands and then just cry at how bad this was. Like, just, oh, like I was watching this replay and I was just sort of shaking my head like, oh, come on, really, seriously? So HBZK dodges the first salvos of torpedoes out of the Nicholas, dodges the next salvo of torpedoes out of the Nicholas, and then there is another destroyer, a Minakaze, that popped up behind. This in every other situation I think I've ever seen, the carrier has ended up dead. I've seen carriers survive 1 DD, 2 almost never happens. And especially when you see how many torpedoes are going to come towards HB, it just watch. So the Nicholas gets off more torpedoes. The Minakaze starts to fire all his torpedoes. And that's just a ton of torpedoes. And the Nicholas is also shooting at HB with his guns. HB keeps running in a straight line, pretty much in a straight line, and doesn't take a single torpedo. So these destroyers. Oh, actually, the Nicholas just got killed by the secondary guns on the Ranger. Just how honestly, how bad could you be in a destroyer that you get that close to a carrier and the carrier not only dodges all your torpedoes but kills you with its secondaries? And out of all things, it's a Ranger as well, which doesn't exactly have the best secondary guns. You get killed by a Midway or something, I understand, but seriously, a Ranger? Anyways, this Minakaze, no. If the Nicholas did not that great of a job, the Minakaze here, oh, what are you doing? This entire battle could have been resolved so quickly if the 2 destroyers just got closer. Straight line, get close, get within a kilometer, just nail the carrier. Instead, they all try to torp from further away, giving HB more time to run the carrier away and also dodge by presenting smallest possible target. And all the while, HB secondaries are slowly picking this destroyer apart. And of course, HB also has planes, but realistically speaking, seriously, as a destroyer, just get close. The Ranger doesn't have all that great of guns. Oh, this was painful to watch. Not because HB didn't do a good job at playing keep away from the destroyer, but the fact that the destroyers just could not hit him really to save their lives. Actually, the other question I was going to ask is, why isn't the Minikaze using its guns? Because it seriously doesn't seem to like to use its guns. Really, Minikaze, come on. Oh. These are things that happen. These are things that happen, and then they end up on an episode of Nautical Tales because you're just in so much disbelief as to the mentality of these TD players. Like, oh, what are they thinking? Oh, finally, there comes some shells. Finally, some fire from the guns. HB just continues to run away from torpedoes. Like, really? This is starting to just get sad. Oh, finally, he hits him. He hits him with another torpedo. That's 2 torpedo hits so far. And this is almost like, what, 4 minutes? These destroyers in 4 minutes couldn't kill one single carrier. And they were pretty close too. Oh, dear Lord. Although HB, I don't approve border scumming. Border scummer. Okay, I know. You were trying to get away. I get it. Yep. More torpedoes in the water. More inability to hit a carrier. And getting killed by the carrier secondaries. 2 DDs up close and personal with the carrier. They got killed. Oh my god. Well, since RNG has played such a huge role in this episode, let's end off with something that RNG plays absolutely no role in. And the last replay is from Aerial Ace 110, and it is possibly the best one this week. So Aerial Ace, who's in an Izumo, is going to come right up against a North Carolina. And North Carolina is going to be presenting the beautiful broadside, which in so many situations usually means that there's going to be massive citadels. Well, there wasn't. 6 hits, bunch of penetrations, no citadel hits. So Aerial Ace, being really patient, goes, okay, alright, try this again. Aims the guns, gets the guns into position, sees that the North Carolina is still not angling in, so Aerial Ace, feeling pretty good about his chances, takes in a shot. Oh, there is the first little bit of angling. Gets 5 hits, does 8,000 more damage. So this North Carolina, which is down to 12,000 HP, goes, oh wow, okay, I think I'm pretty screwed. There's a near full HP Izumo, might as well go for it. Now Aerial Ace loses one of his front guns, and this I think is going to play a pretty big role in his decision making after what you already predict is going to happen. North Carolina is going to go for the ram, and Aerial Ace is probably going to oblige him on this one. So let's just watch this glorious little bit, because this was fun. This was actually fun, because, you know, hey, nothing's more fun than watching a battleship bearing down on you. Ooh, take out the front guns on the North Carolina. Doesn't really matter. North Carolina sacrifices himself to hit the Izumo for a whole ton of damage. Die hard. Aerial Ace is not dead, though. Immediately heals back up. Can get his HP back up to about, what, 21,000 is the max now. Taking fire from the Iowa, but remember, the North Carolina took out 1 gun, so that's going to limit Aerial Ace's options in terms of firing. I think had he had his other gun, he would have actually opted probably to just hit the Iowa with his guns, because that first shot did 2 citadels. Instead, because he's got no forward gun, and there's just only so much he's going to be able to do, with his team in the lead, Aerial Ace goes for it. Oh yeah, come on. This is going to be glorious, right? You know this. Starts to chase the Iowa. Iowa's going to, oh crap, run away! But of course, banzai! Successful. Yep, 2 rams in the Zumo in 1 battle. Congratulations, you have the highlight of the week, Aerial Ace. And that's all, folks, for this Nautical Tales episode. Remember, if you want to send replays to me and you want to know how to do that, check the video description below as I have all the instructions there. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like this video and sub to my channel, as I'll be uploading more of these in the future. Aside from all that, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you all on the high seas.